If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hi guys, good evening. Perfect. So guys, in our session yesterday where we had an intro, basically all the basics understanding of success factors. I've taken you through the details of the course and all. So I'll just give you a recap of what we have discussed in yesterday's session, and we'll take up with some introduction level things before we get into the regular configurations from the next week. Okay. And if still anybody has any questions on the program related, the content related, success factors overview related, you can definitely use this opportunity to discuss. Okay, so this is not something that we are going to start with some configurations today, but still to have a deeper level understanding of the success factor system as a beginner at this stage. Okay, so let me first take the privilege of giving you the recap of detailed recap of whatever things we have discussed yesterday. Then we'll get into the today's contents. So in that regard, guys, first thing is where we understood the curriculum, what we are going to look after in this training program. So the complete list of contents, where point number 3 and point number 5, sorry, point number 2 and 5 on the screen are the actual modules, Employee Central and Performance Management. So these two modules are what are part of our curriculum, and they are of very much demand in the market in terms of the 11 modules that we have in the success factors portfolio. So these two are in the top places in terms of their importance. Okay, and then followed by, we have been looking into the introductions about success factors, guys, like what actually it is, what is this success factors basically consisting of in terms of the various modules that it offers today, where I told you it is a bundle of 11 modules. So all this core HR being the employee central, followed by the recruitment, succession, performance, various modules it has in the portfolio, and they're all classified into these 4 categories: core HR solutions, talent solutions, analytics, and all. They were divided into those that are highlighted in green. Employee central and performance are the main modules that are part of our curriculum actually. And later we also had an understanding of the background of success factors, where it has started. So in 2002 itself, it has started 20 years back with one single module. Later in 2011 December, SAP acquired success factors, and today SF is supported in 168 countries across the globe with 43 languages supported. Okay, so it supports even Hindi for India, Arabic for Middle East, US English, British English, Chinese, Hungarian, Japanese, like this. So it has the global presence. And we also discussed about what is cloud. So when you say success factors as a cloud-based solution, so what exactly is a cloud-based solution is what we had an understanding. So it's all about remotely hosting the data and accessing the data on demand is what the cloud base is. Same like the way our Facebook, LinkedIn, Gmails, all these work. And those remote locations where the SAP is going to host the client database are called data centers. So all the HR data of the client is going to be hosted in that remote data centers. And we have 15 data centers across the globe today. Couple of examples are data center number 2 and 10, which are in Amsterdam and Sydney accordingly. So this is about the cloud model. And we have also discussed about the advantages, the various advantages. Just a second. Yeah, so the various advantages that we basically find, it's in terms of what is the global economy looking towards success factors, what are the advantages, and why the product has become so much successful in the recent times in the market. So these are all the various advantages that the companies are looking for. So it's a win-win for them, where they get a digitalized system with all the best practices, with multi-device accessibility, remote access, and all. At the same time, they have the commercial benefits in terms of licensing, in terms of system maintenance and all. So those are all the advantages. And later we even discussed about the systems what we come across in success factors as an architecture perspective. When we are working on the configurations, we'll have these two systems, provisioning and the instance, where provisioning is the backend and that is accessible only by a certified SuccessFactors consultant. And another one is the instance, the front end system, which is accessible by all the consultants who are going to work for the project. And post completion of the project, the client, the business users are going to use it. And here one point I have to highlight, guys. SuccessFactors being a HR product, it doesn't mean only HR department is going to use. Every employee in the company is going to use. It's not only for HR department. If your company has 1,000 employees, all 1,000 employees can use it. So they can log in into the system, they can apply their leaves, they can update their own contact details, dependent details, everything. They can look at their salary information, like this. Various things employees can use for various reasons and purposes. Employees can use their own SuccessFactors login. It's not only for HR department kind of. It's a self-service system. So these are the two systems where I also gave you a walkthrough on the system yesterday. And provisioning level, what we do are the very minimal things, but crucial things. So without you making that provisioning level activations, you can't work on the instance side. So provisioning side, you don't have any configuration. It's all about just activating the things. And instance is a system where we do all the major configurations. Okay. So this is all what we have been looking at yesterday. Any questions from anyone on any of these topics? You can raise your hand accordingly. And
Hi, sir.
1 second, Priyanka, I'll call your name, please. Anyways, for now you can continue.
Yes, sir, I have a question. Like, if you will be giving the training, so you will be teaching about the provisioning also or only instance?
No, definitely provisioning level. So what all things that we have to activate in the provisioning? So where do we upload some config files in the provisioning? Each and everything in a real-time project from the day one to last day. So what all things you are required to perform across the systems, everything will be covered.
So, sir, you will be giving the access of provisioning?
No, not at all. Provisioning access cannot be given. So that is an access, as I already mentioned, that will be given only to a certified SuccessFactors consultant. SAP can only release the access for anybody for provisioning. So we can't give it. So only the instance side where you do 85% majority of your configurations, that will be available. Provisioning side, whatever are the activations that I'm talking about, so we'll detail explain you how to navigate, where to activate them, and the respective screenshots of them, all that will be given, but an access cannot be given.
But, sir, if I'll not have the access, then how I'll practice?
That's what I'm talking about. You don't have anything to practice on the provisioning. It's only about an
Hmm.
activation to be done. So where to
Okay.
activate, we give you a detailed screenshot, and even in the session we show it to you detailedly. So provisioning access, if you want, you should be either certified or you should go with an official training program that will be hosted by SAP, where it will hardly be 7 days training program. They charge 3.5 lakh Indian currency for 1 week training program, sort of. Only in that SAP is offering. So you can't get a
Okay.
provisioning in other sources.
So, main configuration is in instance only. Provisioning is just for the enable and disable thing.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Perfect. And Sheetal?
Hi. So, with regards to instance access, so how long would be the access given to us? Is it like throughout the duration of the training that we'll be getting?
Yeah, you'll be having the access toward the system throughout the training, definitely.
And so, how would it work? Like, suppose you teach something and then we practice, or you give some assignments.
Yeah, so there'll be places where I'll be particularly giving an assignments. In some places, there'll be generalized to have to work on this activity. So that comes up in a sequence where every topic, whatever I'm going to train you, you will have the access to each and every component on your system as well, and you can replicate the steps and you can configure it. So in some places, I give you the detailed PDF. In some places, it will be list of activities that I'll tell you to work on. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. So just give me a moment. I have to just take a call with the support team. Richard, are you there?
Yeah, Shiva, I'm here.
Richard, I'm not having the access to lower the hands of the participants. Can you see for the admin right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Please. Thank you. Fine. So guys, back to our discussion. So this is about the recap of the things that we are basically been looking at in yesterday's session. And if anybody has any other further questions also we can discuss. And moving on, I would like to get into a topic which is about the implementation methodology in SuccessFactors, guys. So we also have to understand about, guys, please be on mute. So we should also understand about the way how projects will be executed in SuccessFactors. So in terms of not only learning the configurations, so the way how we will be required to achieve them. So when in terms of the project execution, what are the stages of the project? How do you work on the configurations? What are the activities before configurations, post configurations? So we should be able to understand the implementation strategy of SuccessFactors, which is named which is named as SAP Activate, guys. SAP Activate methodology is what we see. And it basically consists of 4 important stages. These are all that, like prepare phase, explore phase, realize and deploy phases. So these are the 4 different phases that we come across in the real-time projects, where prepare is a phase where before even the consultant got involved, it is at a management level. So the same example of yesterday, if we take where you have Coca-Cola as the client and IBM as a IT company. So the agreement between these two companies will happen in the prepare phase, like what are the modules to be implemented, for which countries to be implemented, what languages to be activated. So all that scope of the project, the timeline of the project, costing details, everything will be aligned at the prepare phase. So the project documentations, the SOW documents, project charters, everything will be prepared in the prepare phase. There at the end of prepare phase is where we as the consultants will be involved. So we'll be having a formal introduction of the consultants to the client side that will happen at the end of the prepare phase, saying that Shiva is allocated for Employee Central, Richard is allocated for performance management. Like that, the introduction of the team happens at the end of the prepare phase. So then the consultants will start involving in the project from the second phase, that is explore phase, which is basically the requirement gathering phase. So here we'll get an opportunity to meet the business, meet the process owners, understand their existing processes, existing systems, what are the challenges they are facing. So what they are looking out of SuccessFactors, the way how we can bridge the gaps that they have in the previous solutions or the processes. So all that, understanding the as-is process and building up the new SuccessFactors system related requirements, all that is what we gather in the explore phase. Simply the requirement gathering to be called. And then we enter into the third phase, the realize phase, where realize is all about a place where we can actually do the configurations. We initiate the configurations, guys, in the realize phase. Okay, so in the realize phase, it's one of the lengthiest phase among the 4 phases. That is the lengthiest phase where configurations and testing both happen there. Okay, so in the realize phase, you might be given with a project timeline of say 20 weeks or 25 weeks sometime, where you have to work on the configurations, post that some weeks for testings, with the business testings, all that will be happening there. Okay, so realize phase is all about a phase where we actually work on the real-time main configurations and testing, and then we move it into the deploy phase. So once the testing of the product is also done by the client, we bring the configurations into the final phase that deploy the production system. So we basically come across 3 systems, guys, whenever you're working on the projects in an IT environment. 3 minimum we'll be having, which is development, quality, and production. As you see on my screen now, we start our configurations in the development. Then we move into the testing system or the quality system, you say, where the client can do the testing and they can say whether all their scenarios are working or not. If they give a sign off here and they agree that everything is working, then we can move the things into the production system, the final system, the real system where the business is going to be operated. So in the realize phase, the third phase, these two systems will be used. Consultant to configure, the users to test the system, both will happen here. So once everything is clear here, then we move the things into the production system and get the production system ready for the business. So getting this final production system ready for the business to start using, that is what we do it here in the deploy phase. The fourth phase, deploy phase, is all about getting the production system or the main live system ready with all the requirements of configurations, the data that we have to keep it preloaded, and the permissions, authorizations to be set up. Everything is what it happened in the deploy phase. Once we are at the end of the deploy phase, that means the production system is ready and we can launch it for all the people. If a company has 1,000 employees, releasing the system for all the 1,000 employees so that they start logging in and using the system, that is the end of deploy phase, where we announce the go live. We call it as a go live in terms of IT terminology. It's a project go live where the people can start using the system. That way, we come across 4 stages in the project life cycle in the name of SAP Activate methodology, from prepare to deploy. And these are the landscape of the systems that we use: development, testing, and production. In some places, in some projects, we also see multiple testing systems. The first round of testings will be done, and there might be some results, feedback, and all that will be given to the people, will be given to the team. So they'll be working on any bug fixes that they have to do and all. And the second round of testing, this time they go with it other system like test 2, test 3, like that. Second testing system, third testing system, they do it in a fresh system instead of again doing it in the old system. They do it on a very fresh system again. So that way, some clients will be investing with additional cost involved in it. They purchase some additional systems like T1, T2, T3, we call test 1, test 2, test 3. So it depends. But 3 are the minimum 3 systems that we generally have in the projects. So yeah, beyond that is customer's choice if they want to additionally invest like this. T1, T2, T3 additional systems they can invest if required. Okay. And now the point is, what is the difference when it comes to SuccessFactors when compared to any other platforms in the market? So example, you have, what do you say? You have this Java based, Oracle based, .NET based, different platforms, different technologies in IT. Any project will happen, of course, on the same process. Okay, like even every other technologies also have the prepare phase where the agreements between the business and the IT companies will happen. Then the requirement gathering will happen, configurations, testings, getting the live system ready. These are all common in anywhere. So what is the difference in SuccessFactors in the name of Activate? So if we have to know that, so basically the prepare phase and the explore phase mainly play the difference here, guys. Prepare phase and explore phase, where the main difference what they actually bring up is, in these phases, in the prepare, very sorry, please don't mind, it's not prepare explore, it is explore and realize. The second and third, explore and realize, make the difference. Normally explore is a place where we do the requirement gathering. For requirement gathering, in the traditional approaches, we prepare something called as business blueprint document. Business blueprint. So what it actually contains in the business blueprint document is a Word document. It might be of sometimes in 200 pages or 400 pages. It might even increase sometimes, which has the complete processes of the customer. So what are all their processes? The as-is processes, the requirements out of SuccessFactors, what they expect, everything is what we have to set up in that. So we have to document it in detail. And in every project, right from the scratch, the consultant will start developing it. So once the discussions with the business are done, the consultant will sit and prepare a huge document with complete business processes, where SuccessFactors is going to replace that process with something called as workbooks. I'll just show you them. This is how it is. Configuration workbook, they say, in which the requirement gathering will happen in a predefined template which is Excel based. It's no longer a Word document where one has to sit and prepare 300, 400 pages with all the processes. There is a standard requirement gathering template that SF will be providing for every module, so that we just have to download this template from the SAP's website, and whatever are the different details that this file is asking, we ask those details from the business. I go to a client and I need these details to configure your SuccessFactors system. I'll ask them. So at the bottom you have multiple tabs. So example, definitely we need the details like their departments. If we have to implement SuccessFactors for that project, for that company, we need to know all their departments, definitely. So they might have 10 departments or 40 departments, whatever. The list of departments, data has to be collected here. All your department codes, department names, description, who is heading that department in your company. Like this, lot of details we capture. We have a predefined template. And now say if they have given me some 20 departments, to set up those departments in the system in SuccessFactors, you have a standard screen. This is how it is. The standard department screen looks like this in SuccessFactors, where the details, what it will be asking us is the start date of the department. When did the department start in your business? Some unique code of a department, name, description, state. We have some set of fields, guys. It's not simply a label, just HR department, finance department. It's not simply a label. You have some list of fields that you have to fill in and you have to create as a department. So in that sense, in that case, now this is the standard screen that we can show to the customer, saying that this is how the department setup screen will look like. And if they have any changes, they can request us. They say, we don't want description field. We can remove it. Then they say we want some additional custom field. We can add it. So they say head of the department should be a mandatory field. I can make it mandatory. I can relabel a field, spelling changes to done, any label changes I can do. So all such different requirements can be taken from the client. At a granular level, each and every field level, we can take the requirement. So this is a standard screenshot they give. On the left-hand side in the same page, I will have all that standard fields, what SF has already pre-delivered. Here, the list of all the fields will be there. If there is any change of label that the client is expecting, here we have customer label as a column in which whatever are the labels, we can record them here. Change of labels, which field should be mandatory, non-mandatory, yes or no, you have this option to change it. So this is a place where you collect the requirements. Okay, the labels of the fields, length of the fields. Okay, next mandatory conditions, and any additional validations or conditions that they want to incorporate. Here we have customer comments as an option where we can record any additional validations that they are asking at a field level, everything. And explanation of each and every field. What does that mean? Why is that field present? SuccessFactors comments is a default field that will be available, explaining the purpose and need of that field, all that. So this way, granular level, each and every small attribute, even a small length, even a small label, everything can be detailedly captured. And if you want to add custom fields, at the bottom already SF will leave one custom row, one blank row. You can start adding there. If you want to add 5 custom fields, you can add the rest of the 4 rows. You can add 4 more rows at the bottom, where SF will accept in every screen 70 custom fields. Any screen you show in Employee Central, it will allow you to add 70 custom fields. It's not overall 70, per screen 70. In this department screen, if you ask me, I can add up to 70 custom fields. If there is another field for location, there I can add 70. Like that, everywhere 70 will be added, and that's more than enough. Nobody will go that much of requirement. So this is how the requirement gathering sheet will look like, which is to give you a high level example of one of the workbook. So this way, the traditional Word documents, which we call as the business blueprint documents, are replaced with this sort of workbook documents. Workbooks which are Excel based. The terminology is workbook, which are pre-delivered by SF. We'll be downloading them from SAP's website, and we'll be filling this in front of customer. where I go through each and every Excel sheet, every sheet in this Excel, I go through it and I go through them in front of them and explain them what does each of them mean. So if any changes they are not okay with the standard delivered, then and there itself we'll record them the changes. When the configuration time starts, we, as per the changes that we have recorded, we will make all that in the system. Okay. So that is the first difference when it comes to the SAP's Activate methodology, the way how it is different from the traditional projects in the market that we have to understand. Second thing is the realize phase. So what is that makes the difference in the realize phase means? So that is a phase where you will have the configuration start, of course, and normally in the previous traditional approaches, for example, you are given a 5 months of timeline for project configurations, say 20 weeks. Almost 16 weeks the team will utilize for configurations, and on the 16th week sometime we come in front of the client saying that this is what we have developed, and then training, testing and all we expect them. But in that we have a potential risk that, so if you almost consume 70-80% of the timeline and then you come to the client to showcase something, and if there is some complete fundamental approach itself is wrong, this is not my expectation sort of feedback, then the entire project timeline goes on toss. So that's where SF follows Activate methodology, guys, with agile based technology, agile based approach, where in this we go with incremental delivery of project, incremental way. That is, so out of 20 weeks that is given to you, you start your configurations for initial 5 weeks, 6 weeks, you work for it, say 1.5 month kind of, then go in front of the business to showcase your progress in the last 1.5 months, in the last 6 weeks. It's a one day session with the business, a workshop where I'll be able to showcase in my last 1.5 months whatever I've developed. It might be just 30% of the things, but here we get a chance to give the client a chance of visualization. In the initial days itself, they are also being collaboratively working with the project team now. It's not that they give the requirement and after 4 months they ask you the output. We are involving the business at every stage to review the progress and suggest us if this is not working for you that way. So we get the feedback, we come back to office, work for a few more weeks based on the last feedback, any corrections to be made and few additional configurations we bring in. Somewhere again in the 12th week, we go for the second round of walkthrough. So by this time, system will be like 65-70% ready. And here also any changes or anything, we'll be able to take the feedback and again come back to office, work for a few more weeks. Now go on the 16th week, the final week, the final walkthrough. Now system should be 100% configured, and end to end you will be able to demonstrate any scenario. End to end you will be able to demonstrate. So like that, you are giving a chance for the business to visualize at various stages. They are also being involved in the project design at every level. And if any design level understanding issues and all, that can be identified at a very early stage. It's not that you design something completely and then they say, no, this is not what I'm expecting. So it doesn't come across that situations. So that's an agile based process. So we call them as iterations. So multiple iterations we can continue. Finally, you can release a product for testing, trainings, all that. And this 3 rounds is where general recommendation. It's not mandatory that you should fix. You should only fix to fit to 3 weeks, 3 rounds. If it's a major project, if it's a project that is being done by IBM to Coca-Cola, really, Coca-Cola has its global presence. They are present in more than 30 countries across the globe. So if it's a huge project with huge employee workforce, multiple scenarios, localizations and all, the project might even run for 1.5 years. Then you can increase this 3 rounds to 6 rounds or 8 rounds also, not a problem. It all depends upon the IT company and the client, how they agreed. So how frequently they want the teams to meet each other. So based on that, they can design the plan every 45 days or every 30 days, whichever the way. So this is another difference when it comes to realize phase when compared with the normal regular project implementation methodologies in the market. And if we have to see the way how the project plans are prepared in the real time to cover all these stages, guys. So prepare and explore phase. And the first things is where the project management level things and the consultant to do the requirement gathering, we can keep it in the first 2 weeks. Then we can go from the third week to start working on the configurations. First 6 weeks I work, then I go for the first walkthrough, again 4 more weeks, second walkthrough, like that. We configurations, walkthrough. So week W8, week 8, week 13, and week 17 on my slide, highlight the walkthroughs, the yellow colors, the place where we go for the walkthrough in front of the business. Okay. And when we are going for the second round, third round of walkthroughs, guys, the changes that we accept will reduce. Here we can accept a lot of changes, but second round of walkthrough, I'll not accept scratch level, complete design level change can't be accepted here. So here any additional custom fields, change of workflows, like that, any validations to be added, I can take. Third iteration level, I'll completely accept only cosmetic things, any label change, any sequence of alignment on the screen, such kind of changes, very cosmetic things will be allowed in the last level. That way, when we are giving multiple chances for the next round, for the third round, for the fourth round and all, the volume of changes that we accept will be reduced, because we already give you multiple rounds of walkthrough. And now in the third stage, you can't give me a big change that will impact the entire project timeline. Only cosmetic changes will be accepted in the third round, that way. Then we have the testing, trainings, all that. And the last week we can get the production system ready. End of 20th week, I can announce the go live. So this is a high level example, which is given you with only 20 weeks just to fit into this page. In the real time, their projects generally also happen for 30 weeks, 36 weeks, 42 weeks. It depends upon the volume of the project, the modules, how many modules and all. Okay. Ashwini, please mute yourself. Richard, are you there?
Yeah, I just muted them.
No, I still did not get any controls, Richard.
Oh, okay, let me just inform the support team to give you the co-host access.
Do it right away, please. Fine. So this is about the implementation methodology, guys, which we call it as activate methodology in SuccessFactors, which has all these key 4 phases: prepare to deploy. And this is how it basically makes it different from the other products in the market. And next thing, what we have to look at is the important websites that you have to come across in your SuccessFactors consulting regularly. Let me showcase that, just a moment. So when you're into the real time, where you're working on the projects and all, you should definitely know about some important websites of SAP that you should be able to access, the place where you can find multiple resources and all. So these are that, guys, 3 important. But the key point is, to log in into any of these things, you should be certified. Okay, at least one skill module of SF should be certified, then you will be able to access them. So now even without login, you will be able to access, but you can't download the contents. If you want to download the documents contents from this, you should be certified. So the first one, Partner Edge. That is a place where first thing, that just now whatever is Excel sheet that we saw, the requirement gathering workbook. So all module related workbook templates will be there in this Partner Edge. And this is a place where we also get a lot of documentations in terms of configuration guides, which we call them as implementation guides in SF. Implementation guides and few other brochure documents about the capabilities of the product. So there will be some documents which will explain the features of Employee Central, features of performance management, such kind of brochure documents, user guides, admin guides, all that in the Partner Edge. And second one, customer community. So this is a page, this is a site where both we as a consultants and even the client also will have the access to. So if you are implementing project for Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola has 1,000 employees, not all 1,000 employees have the access here. Coca-Cola side management, The client side management, project management team level, some 4 or 5 people kind of top people will have the access. Where like this, all companies clients will have their access. Okay, so say example, you take Coca-Cola is one customer, PepsiCo is one customer. So both of them are implementing SuccessFactors. So both of their managements will have the access in this portal. So that if customers wants to share their ideas, share their feedback with the other clients, if they have any doubts on the processes, how are you handling it in your business? If they want to discuss with other companies, this is a community where they can collaborate. As a Coca-Cola management, I can collaborate with PepsiCo management. How are you dealing with this thing in the SuccessFactors system? Like that. It's a forum, but of course, everybody don't openly reach out, but that's a forum that SAP has given to reach out if required. Second, this is a page where the client can raise a enhancement request. If they feel a particular feature or a functionality is currently not offered in SuccessFactors, and if they feel that will be a very good offering if they release it, so that can be raised as an enhancement request with a proper case study. Why are they looking for this? What is the advantage of having it and all? They can do it. So when we have that option, so you will be able to raise it, and SAP will be considering that updates. I mean, SAP will be considering that request, and they'll be developing them and releasing in the regular updates. So every 6 months, when you get new features and functionalities delivered, so that will be delivered in that. So that is the advantage of having a customer community. And what for us as a consultant is, we can also raise it. Say if you come across, you have delivered 3 projects, you worked on 3 projects in SF today. In every project, client has been asking one particular feature, which we say that is not available today. Then you as a consultant can also raise an enhancement request to SAP saying that this has been a regular requirement from every client, but we are not having it. You can also prepare a case study, the requirement of it, and you can publish it. So that way, customer community helps to reach out to SAP in terms of enhancement requests. And also customers facing documents, some customer document in the customer language, what they can understand, which is not too technical, which will speak about the processes, success factors, applications, all that. Such kind of customer language documents also you'll find in the customer community. And the last one is a support portal where we will be able to reach out to the official SAP whenever you have so whenever you basically have any issues with the product, that is in terms of you're not able to get the output of a particular feature, you configured everything as per the things what are mentioned in the guides, but you still not get the output, or really system is giving some unexpected warnings or unexpected pop-ups. So such a place where you are not able to fix it and you want the backend engineering team to support you, you can reach out to the support team, where when you raise a support ticket in this portal, you have the option to choose the priorities like low, high, critical kind of priorities, and you can raise the tickets. Accordingly, the backend engineering team will reach out to you for the support. So that way you have 3 important channels through which you will be able to access the SAP resources. Okay. So that is about the implementation methodology and some important websites, guys. Any questions? I don't see any hands raised. Good. And then in terms of not only about what I am showing, guys, if anything that you guys have any questions in terms of the success factors, product related, modules related, jobs related, certification related, if you have anything also, you can have your question hands raised. We can discuss on that. Okay. And meanwhile, let me open something else. So coming to the success factor system, guys. So we just had a walkthrough of the high level navigations yesterday. So I would like to show you a few more areas within the SuccessFactors system. Let me take you to that. So this is the home page that we have been discussing, where in the home page you have the quick link access to the internal parts of the system is one thing, and from here you get the navigation to the list of modules that you have activated. Now, as I told, this is a system where we work on 85% of our configurations. Where is that place? Is that the very last one? The very last one that you see in the name of admin center is the thing, where in the admin center you will be able to get into it, and you will be able to log in. Not log in, you'll be able to do the configurations, and this access will be limited only to the consultants, the configuration team. Okay, so whoever are the EC consultant, recruitment consultant, performance consultant, they are allocated to the project, only they can see this admin center. The business side, the employees, managers, CEO, anybody, they don't get the access to the admin center. Only a consultant who is going to work on the configurations get the access. And once you go here, you will have the access to all the tools. So here you have a section called tools. The frequently used tools will be coming up here as favorites, and here you can click on see all. Under the tools you have the see all option. When you click on the see all, you get a pop-up where all the config options are segregated topic wise. There is a concept called 360-degree performance reviews, that config related all the config options. Employee Central related will be under this employee files, which is under employees files. These are all Employee Central related. Like that, coming down, you will have the area in terms of goal management, reporting related configurations, permissions related, the SuccessFactors module permissions related, all that will be coming up here. So any activity, any particular configuration activity that you want to perform, you can come here. So example, now we are planning to work something on the goal management. Come under the goal management. Here you will have the possible configuration options of that goal management topic. You want to work on performance management, go down and find wherever is a performance management. Here all the performance management config options are there. Like that, module wise they are well segregated and kept the respective subheadings of the configuration options. And this page will be totally restricted only to the consultants. Only a consultant login will have it. So how does that restriction happen and all is in the when we deal with the permissions topic, I'll be explaining you. But that is this. Okay, so I again show you the navigation. The drop down admin center, the last one, is the one that will bring you here. And here in this, the very first one, tools. Under the tools section, you click on see all. Clicking on see all, you get a pop-up with a list of all the available configuration options of all the modules here. Of course, only the modules what are activated in the system you'll be able to see. Okay, and then and here now on the top you have an option to search. So example, I want to work for any activity. Here on the top I can give the keywords, guys. So example, I have an option to send out a welcome email. Whenever there is a new employee joining in the company, we can send out a welcome email. So here you can actually give the keywords as welcome. So you will get that option, send user welcome email. So you need not particularly look into the options in the tools, go into the source, see all. Here, where is that welcome email and all. You need not search from these many places. Or in among these many options, you need not try to find it. You can easily use the stop search area with a keyword what you're actually planning to do. That's it. You will be able to find this option of welcome email. Similarly, you want to work on some permissions. Just give the keyword as permission. So what all options are in this system available in terms of permissions, you get all of them. These are various things of permissions. You can look at it now. You can look at it. Okay, what I want to access. That's a very good option that we have here on the top, that will actually allow you to find any activity, any admin activity, any config activity, anything directly from the search area. So you need not particularly remember the navigation and all. Just give you a keyword, what you're planning to do, that's it. Okay, and then say, just a second. Now, if you want to search for any employee example, say now I am currently in the login of Anya Singh as an admin user. She wants to open somebody's profile. She can just type here. So if she types the keyword as say LX, with the word matching as LX, who are all the employees present? That word LX might match their first name, second name, last name, anywhere. So that people will be listed here. So whoever profile you want to open, click on their name and you'll be able to see their profile. Of course, with only the information what you are authorized to see. So that will again be the permissions. When I visit others profiles, what extent of information can be visible to me is what that will can be controlled through permissions. Currently, this lady being an admin user, she has the full access on this person's profile. Even that person's salary information also she is able to see. Okay, that all depends upon the permissioning, but this is how you can go for others profiles just by using the top search area. So this is a very powerful option where it will allow you to search for different config actions or even the people. You type the name of a person, it will give you the result of the names of the employees. Or if you give this config activity keywords, so even that admin options, config options, all that will also be able to be searched with this search option. So that's a very good option that will be available. So you do not remember the navigations in particular. That and come back to the home page. Now we really want to use that welcome option, guys. So whenever there is a new employee hired in the system, you just type the keyword as welcome and go to the tool. It's a predefined tool. It's a plug and play tool where we have nothing config for that, just a tool that we can use to send a welcome email for the new joinees. So here you have an option where the subject of the email and the body of the email will be pre-delivered. And if you want to make any changes, you can still do it. It's an editable, completely editable area where you can edit it. So you have the subject and the body, where body says, welcome to SuccessFactors. Your login information is. That is, when you join a company, so you join Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola has been internally using SF. They want to give you the access to that SF system. So they are releasing this email to you saying that you can log in with the below credentials. This is your username, this is your password kind of, where that will be dynamically brought up. When you hire the employee, we already maintain that. When we hire an employee in SuccessFactors system, we already maintain the employees. We'll already maintain the employee's login name, the username with what they have to log in. So that will be automatically taken from the employee record. This is just a token, EMP underscore username, that has the capability of reading the employee's username from the database, and that will be placed here dynamically. And then even for the employee to set his own password, a URL can be sent, which can also be dynamically generated. Set password URL is a token that will dynamically generate an URL so that the user can log in and first set his password, and then with that username and the password, he'll be able to access the SuccessFactors system regularly. So that way, on the employees, when the employee got joined in the first day or the first week, the HRs can release this kind of a welcome email through which the employees will be able to access the SuccessFactors system in the company. And here we have both the options of group. At a time, you want to send the welcome email for a bunch of employees or only for one individual who has joined today. You have both the options. Generally, group option will be used on the date of go live. So today the project is completed and we are going to release the product to all the employees of the company. Then this group option will be used, where we just keep it as all employees or all departments, all locations, and we click on send system message. For all the employees who are in the system, the email will be released. Okay. And the second option, if you go for by user, system will give you an option to even search based on first name, last name like this, which you don't have in the previous version. One individual you can even search for and you can send out a welcome email. And here the con of this option. So if I have to say what is the limitation in this option is, here I have an option to make some changes. If the client wants to add some additional lines like we are happy to have you onboarded, like this, if they want to add some additional statements, whatever, something, they can do it, but that is not going to saved as a permanent thing. You can make your changes, but next time when you come to this tool again, refresh this page or come back to this tool again, the changes what you have made will not be there. Again, you have to build that statement. So that template can't be saved. That's one of the limitation in this particular tool actually. So the good thing is you are able to edit it, but the bad thing is you can't save it. For this time, whatever changes you do, this time when you trigger an email, that will go. Next time again, these changes will be lost. You have to again rebuild it. That's the thing. So of course, this has been raised and as an enhancement request by a lot of customers. So soon in the any of the upgrades, SAP might release it as a feature so that we can even save the template with our changes so that we need not every time build it. Okay. Yeah, Sheetal.
Yeah, hi. So regarding this, I see this particular email body wherein this is by probably by default, right? Which is coming. So you said in the username and this set password URL, these are dynamically populated. You'll be covering that in the going forward sessions, right? Because how are they populated? Like, just
That's
wanted
on
to
the
have an idea.
employee. That's what, as I already mentioned, even that when you are hiring an employee in the employee record level, you will already mention all that. So when you're hiring an employee belongs to what department, which location, what is his employee's username. We fill this. Employee username is nothing but the name with what he has to log in, his login name. So we already maintain it in the employee record level in one of the portlet anywhere. Okay. So when we maintain it, so example, first name is a token. If I call that token as first name in the email, from the employee record, whatever is the first name, it will read from here and it will auto populate into the email body. Similarly, username. So username is a field which will present in some of the portlet. So from wherever that is maintained, that will read that username already and that will get it populated here. It's nothing config that we
So
have to, it's all the data, it has to be maintained. That's it. Okay.
So we don't really have to configure anything. We just need to give these like if we don't want username, instead of that we don't want some other field, we just have to give that field name.
Exactly. So the list of tokens, we call them as the tokens. Now in this box bracket, whatever you have, EMP underscore username is a token. So like that, we have some list of tokens that SAP supports, like location name, department name, job title. Some tokens are there. So that list of tokens I'll be sharing you. Using those tokens, we can build our email templates, whichever we want. Okay,
Okay, got it. Thanks.
perfect. And so this is the first tool, which is a plug and play as it is tool. We have nothing config here. If you properly observe, I still did not start any config things, but I'm trying to introduce you with some plug and play tools that we have that we can use them as it is without any config. So this is one is the welcome email. Next is passwords or the user accounts. Sometimes when you are not able to access to the systems, the employees will reach out to the administrators and they have to help with the password reset and all. So such kind of tools we have. So if you just give the keyword as password, so there'll be some situations where the person cannot even use the forgot password option. That is also not working and they approach the admin. Then you use this option. Reset user password. So resetting user password, again, this is a plug and play tool where we don't have any config involved in it. Now, if somebody approaches you saying that I am not able to access to SuccessFactors system, please help me with the password as an admin. So here we have three different options. Reset individual user password with supplied password, or only reset individual user password. So with supplied and without supplied, two things. So what does this first one with supplied mean is, say if this lady called Anya Singh, if she forgot her password, so then we can search for that user, select that user record, and we give some default password. some SAP 123, test 123, something. I can give some default password and I can reset, and I can tell the user, now this is your password, you log in with it. Once you log in, you can change your own password. That way we can set some password temporarily and we can give it to them. That is called supplied password. Okay, but here some companies doesn't like it, because admin is now the person who is going to reset, he knows the password. So with that, the temporary password, he can also log in. If they don't want that to happen, they can use reset individual user password, where in this you search for that user, and here system is not going to ask you to set any password. Here, when you select that user and click on reset selected user password as a button, system will automatically trigger one email to that person's mail ID. So to this person's Anya Singh's email ID, an email will be sent. In that email, there will be URL. Clicking on that, the user will have an option to set his own password, new password, confirm password, system will ask. So here I am helping you with a option to set a password by yourself. I am not setting anything. By clicking on it, you will be receiving an email. In that email, there will be a link. Clicking on that link, you will be able to set your own credentials. So that is the second option. Third one is same like second, but on a bulk group of users. At a time you want to do it on group of users, you can do it, but that generally doesn't happen. At a time you don't get hundreds of people asking for password reset. So group of password resets generally doesn't happen. Only the first two will be used, with supplied or without supplied. That way. Okay, any questions on this? Perfect. Next thing is, sometimes it's not only about password, my user account gets logged. So if I give my password wrongly for 3 times, my account gets logged. That happens everywhere, right? Gmail, Facebook, banking sites, everywhere. So in that case, if you search for this keyword as reset, you get this option called reset user account. So whenever your account got locked, you can ask the admin and the admin can reset it. So again, Anya Singh, if Anya Singh's account is locked, search for her. And here, if that account is really logged, this status column shows in a red color into mark. Instead of a green color tick mark, it comes as a red color into mark. So that shows the account is already logged. To reset it, you can select that user and click on reset selected user. The account gets unlocked, reset. That way. So this is an option where admins can help in case of a user's account got logged. Just a single button click. That is resetting user passwords and user accounts, two different options. So these are all the welcome email, resetting user IDs and user passwords. These are all the admin tools, default tools that we can use. And then I would like to show you guys a small config activity. Okay, a very basic cosmetic activity, which is logo. So when you start using a SuccessFactors system, business will definitely they definitely prefer to have their logo in the system. So here on the left hand top, the best run logo, what we see, we can update with the client logo. So for that, we have an option. If you search with the keyword as logo, guys, you get this couple of options, out of which the first one to be used, upload company logo. This is a place where you'll be able to upload the logo first. Go there. And here, very simple, you get an option to choose the image, browse for it and click on save. That looks pretty straightforward. But actually here in this line, you have a small question mark. If you just mouse over on this, guys, it gives you some specifications. The image what you're going to upload here should have some specifications, like the format. It will accept .png, .jpg or GIF. Only 3 format files will be accepted. In terms of memory, it should not be more than 1 MB. In terms of dimensions, it should not exceed 210 by 40 pixel. Okay, you see the second line, third line and fourth line in this paragraph, they are all mentioned. So with these specifications, we need an image with that particular extension, with particular size, particular dimensions. We need to get the image of the client's logo. So that we can upload here. And for these, we ask the business to share it. If it is Coca-Cola, I write an email to Coca-Cola project manager. With these specifications, you give me a logo. We should not take it from Google. If you go to Google and search as Coca-Cola, you will get hundreds of images. White text with a red background, red text with a white background, different images you will get. Never tamper with the client logos. The client logos are the trademark symbols. So never you take risk with that. You send the email to the business. They have to tell us this is the image that I want to upload. Whatever they give, we have to upload. We should never take it from Google that way. So to meet that specifications, they have to design it the way how they want to resize it, image extension formats, whatever they can deal with it, and they can give us. So in that sense, when you have the 1 second, yeah, when you have that ready, so the business can share it to us and we can upload it. And as of now, I have some image of that kind. Let me try to find some from my database. 1 second. Yeah. So as most of you already know, a popular toothpaste brand called Colgate. So I have the Colgate logo in my laptop currently, and I've just picked it up. I just selected from a local drive and I've attached it. So once it is uploaded, just click on save. And for you to experience that Colgate logo, you have to log out and log in back. Whenever you upload that new logo, any client logo, so you have to log out of the system and log in back. Right from the login page, that new logo starts appearing this way. So to fit into that exact rectangular window that we have on the left hand top, so that dimensions are important, exactly into that rectangular window, it has to fit it. And once you log in, right from the login page, every page, home page, admin page, wherever you might be, that logo will appear on the left hand top. So that is how a basic, very basic starting range of a cosmetic activity that I have tried to show you as a config. Upload company logo. Okay. Any questions across? Nothing. Good. So this is about the very small activity. Now again, coming to one more option is about the emails, guys. Emails. The example, across the SuccessFactors tool, we'll be finding various situations where we would be required to have the emails triggered out of SuccessFactors system. So when an employee is hired, you need an email. When there is an approval process, you need an email. Where if the approval is, if the workflow is approved, you need an email. If it is rejected, we need an email. Okay, so like that, there will be multiple situations across EC, recruitment, performance, all the modules, a lot of emails to be triggered out of SuccessFactors system. So for every email, there will be a particular subject, there will be a particular body that we need. So that is all predefined by SuccessFactors, guys. SF comes up with all the predefined content. Okay, so there, so we have a place for that, where if you search with the keyword as email, e-mail, you search with this, you get this option called email notification template settings. So just go for this email notification template settings, where you'll be finding the list of various emails that will be triggered out of SuccessFactors system. This list is all about that. Keep scrolling down the line. You see almost 150 plus email templates will be seen in this page. A lot of email templates across all the modules, not one single module related, all across 11 modules of SF. All these are the different email templates, 150 plus you can find here. And for every template, guys, say example here you have a very basic one, goals. So there's a performance module where you will have the goals created, performance goals. So whenever there is a goal that you created for, not you, when a manager has created a goal for you, or when a head of the department has assigned a goal for you and all, you should be notified that somebody has assigned a goal for you that you have to achieve, goal or a target you have to achieve. So for that, this is an email, goal creation notification. This will be sent to a user when a goal was created for him or her. So when your manager or your HR or HOD, someone has created a goal for you, you will get this email triggered. And for that, here you have the subject of the email, body of the email, all that has been predefined. So if you want to make any changes to the subject level or the body level, you can make the changes and click on save changes button here. And if you want to make this email as a high priority email, you can select this checkbox. So when it reaches your mailbox, it reaches with that indicator as high priority that way. So this sort of every template you can click on the link on the right hand side, the subject and body will be editable and you can make the changes necessary. And when you first time come to this screen, all these checkboxes will be disabled, guys. Nothing will be enabled. So we have to activate all the templates as a consultant, all the email templates, and client can say, I don't want an email for this. So example, for goal creation notification, if a client says, no, I don't want email to be triggered for every goal, that will trigger a lot of emails and that will be disturbing us. I can disable this, disable the checkbox. So that email will never trigger. Goal creation level, employee will not be notified, but goal deletion level, he'll be notified if somebody deletes his goal. Then second one that way. So it will be the business call to tell us which emails they want to be triggered, which they don't want to be triggered. And in that, the subject and the body standard content, are they okay or they want the changes, all that. Okay, here it's a mixture of the templates of all the modules, guys. So when we specifically discuss about EC, I'll come back here and I'll tell you these are for EC. When we discuss PMGM, again I'll bring you to here, and these are for PMGM. I'll introduce you at that point. Now even if I introduce you, it will be too early, but I'm first trying to introduce you that we have this kind of a tool where these are the sort of changes that you'll be capable to do through this tool. Okay, and whenever you make these activations, you enable, disable all these checkboxes, guys. Finally, you have to remember, go to the extreme bottom of the page and click on the save notification settings button. If you don't save it, all the checkboxes that you enable, disable, you will lose it. Next time when you come again, it will be reset to the default. So that sometimes people forget to click on the save button. Make sure you click on the save at the bottom of the page. Okay. Let me take a question. Yeah, Palak.
Yeah, hi. So actually, I just wanted to know that, for example, we have the goal setting template. So in that, the email will be automatically triggered for the registered employee email ID.
Yeah.
Right. So what if I want to not send the email to the employee? Instead, I want to send it to, suppose, his, I don't know, some manager or something. So is that possible? Like, can that be done?
Yeah. So basically, this is an email where SF will already configure who is the default recipient. Okay, as per the business scenario, definitely employee is a person that should be notified. First of all, if there is an email. So that you can't change. The default user, what SF says, that cannot be changed. That will definitely go to an employee. Here you have an option called customize settings. If you click on it, so here you have an option where, not this, 1 second. In this, they have not given update settings, switch to settings. Yeah, so here itself you will understand. So for this, we don't have an option to restrict at role level or add to additional roles and all. We don't have an option. So this template, we just have to tell the customer this is not possible. This will either go to the employee, or if you don't want, I can disable it. That's it. So instead of employee, it has to go to some manager and all. In this template, we don't have the option. Okay. Whereas another template, document creation, the second one from the top, this document creation is the one, like whenever there is a performance form initiated for an employee, performance review form for 2022, like that, when any performance documents are initiated, this email will be triggered. So even this is the one that will be generally going to him or her, the employee, that particular employee. Along with that, if you want additional people to be notified, here you will have customized settings where, so for that template, say 2020 performance review template. So along with the employee, if you want to have manager to be receiving the email, HR to be receiving the email, you have the options to select additional roles like this. So they also will be copied in the same email as a CC. Okay, these are all the possible roles: employees, manager, matrix manager, HR, all the traditional roles you can select. Got it?
Right. And yeah, and they'll be added as a CC and not as the portion of the email.
Basically, it doesn't see that 2 and CC. All these people will receive the notification. In the 2 and CC doesn't show anything. Everybody will have a copy of that email.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Perfect. And one more thing is, one more thing to be seen here is, in every email you have a token called signature, guys. In every standard email, signature as a token is what we have here. Okay, so what is the signature? So what content should go in the signature? We have a separate template for that signature. So you do a Control F. Here, email signature is what we have. You go for this email signature here. If you click on this hyperlink, the system will open on the right hand side the email signature. So this is a standard signature that comes up in the system: performance manager, copyright, something. You can remove this. So generally what clients will ask us a signature is, so for every standard email that SuccessFactors is triggering, we can keep it as, say, regards SuccessFactors team, HR operations, Coca-Cola, like whatever is the client, like this. So this is how the signature, what the clients will expect us to maintain. So we can ask them, for your business, whatever you want, and we can maintain this, so that in every email that is being triggered out of SuccessFactors system, so this email will be coming up that way. So this is an email signature related separate token. And one more thing, there will be some email templates which doesn't give you an option to enable disable. They are default enabled. They are grayed out and they are default enabled, where SF says you are not given a privilege to decide whether it is to be enabled or not. That is mandatory, required to be enabled. So client cannot choose to deactivate it. So if you all these workflows related, you can't have the option, because when a workflow is triggered, manager or someone, whoever person, he is definitely required to be notified that there is something waiting for your approval. Similarly, when it is approved or rejected, employee should be able to be understanding that my request is approved or rejected. So there you can't decide to disable the email. So if you disable that emails, everything will be delayed. Manager doesn't know something that he has to action, and he will delay the approval. Similarly, even if manager approved, employee don't know that it is approved, and he will think I did not have the approval yet. That to avoid the delays, so these emails SF will not even give you an option to enable, disable. They will standard predefined enabled that way. So you will have this page, which will a central location for dealing with all the email templates across the modules, and wherever an email will be expected out of SuccessFactors system, SF has covered all the possible scenarios already, guys. All such possible scenarios SF has already covered. You will not have face a situation that here it will be good that I want to have an additional email kind of. You will never face such situation. And still, if you want to have additional emails configured, we have it in the Employee Central module, in the recruitment module. SF has already given the relevant configurations. If you want to still create some additional email options, yes, when we deal with the Employee Central configurations, we'll have a dedicated topic where additional custom email templates, how can we create with the subject, body, and all. We will also discuss that. Okay. Yeah, Sunita. Sunita, are you speaking? We are not able to hear you. Okay. So if we're not able to hear you, please check your audio or drop your question in the chat. Any issue with our audio device? That is about the email templates option, guys. And then So I'm again highlighting, these are all the default tools what we have. So we are not particularly doing any huge configuration, maximum change of subject, change of body of the email, only such kind of plug and play things only is what I'm concentrating in this early sessions as of now, in the very introduction, the intro session, to get used to, for making you used to all these navigations, and how does the system screens look like, how does the config options in SF will get look like. That's basically to give you that look and feel on the hands-on on the system. So once you have the system access released, okay, most probably by next week, once we are done with the next Saturday session, the system access will be released slowly by next weekend. So along with that access, I'll also be giving you some exercises, the way how I am now showing you that we can go to welcome email, we can go to password reset screen, all this. So there are independent documents, independent PDF exercises. I'll be also posting that, so that you guys will be able to follow that navigations, go to that place and perform that activity. The whole intention of that assignments will be to make you get the required hands-on. So where to click, where to go, how to use. So initially, so before we start with the configurations, it's important that you have that ease on the system to navigate and use the system. So for that, next week that assignments will be released. So once we actually commence with the main sessions next weekend, we'll have it. So today, yesterday and today, it's all about the initial basic demo and the intro. The actual sessions and assignments start from the next weekend. Okay. And then, yeah, Mr. Was.
Hi Shiva. Yeah, thanks for the session. Please don't mind if I'm jumping to the topics too early. But so what are the possibilities of scheduling email alerts? Like you've showed us the templates, is there a possibility of understanding on what frequency should this mail trigger, or that will be also discussed during the sessions, right?
Yeah, so when you speak about the point of the schedule, so it's basically two things. So all the events, whatever I shown you on the emails, that this transaction, let me go again. So these are all the places where an email will be expected then and there itself. It's not that you schedule it for after 30 days, after 2 hours, not that. All the places where an employee requested something, immediately manager should be notified. When there is a goal created, immediately employee should be notified. So these are not something that you have to schedule. Other things are like alerts. So example, my contract is going to expire in next 45 days. Then my HR and my manager should be notified about the upcoming contract end date. If my contract has to be extended, or they are ready to terminate me and all, so that they should be notified. So that we can schedule in such a way it has to reach 45 days before my contract end date, 30 days before my contract end date. That setting is what we can do in the Employee Central configurations. Okay, so that kind of a thing will be in control. But here for these standard templates, these are all then and there itself they'll be triggered. It's not that you choose a time. Okay.
Sure. So integration center is also part of this, right? I mean, in the course itself.
No, integration center is an additional component that doesn't come under the Employee Central core.
Oh, is it? Okay. But generally, where do we categorize that in a particular?
On the advanced topic, so beyond once it doesn't come under the initial learning level and certification level. It's a real-time tool. I can help you with the documents relevant to that. So not only integration center, we have various other things that comes on top of the core Employee Central. So that we can't go through everything in the main content. So, but I can help you with the document of that tool. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much, Shiva. Thank you. That's all from my side. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, there is a question in the chat. Do we need a specific system configuration? Yeah. So Sunita, we don't have any specific configurations of laptop. So in the system, in a system where you'll be able to decently use your browser with a good speed, you are able to use a browser with a good internet connectivity. You are able to handle the YouTube, Facebook, all these websites. You are able to access. That's enough for learning and practicing SuccessFactors system. A general laptop where it is having a minimum RAM that you can your applications are smooth enough to use and you're able to access the internet, that is enough. So no high-end configurations are required for SF. Okay. That is the thing. And then give me a second. Yeah, one more feature that we have to look at, guys, is the proxy feature. Proxy is a feature where, so now I'm in the login of an admin user, Anya Singh. Now she wants to do something on behalf of some other employee from some other login. She wants to do something. Then without having that other person's ID, passwords and all, she can go into that person's login by using this proxy now as a feature on the right hand top. So when you click on this proxy now, in the pop-up, you can give the name of the target person, select him, Alex Shu as a target person. If I click on OK, now the system is going to get reloaded as if that person has logged in with his ID password. So now whatever you see, now this is on the right hand top, that person's photograph. And it says Anya Singh on behalf of Alex. Currently Anya Singh logged in on behalf of Alex. So here, when I navigate and if I see anything on the goals, performance, anything, that will be that employee's data that shows to me. And here there is something like for you today. Like this person has to complete some 360 evaluation. There is one pending item for him for today. That is his item that she is able to see. And now if he goes to his profile, if he clicks on this profile or my profile here, where it is my profile here on the right, last one, my profile, if I click, it will open that Alex profile. That it's not Anya Singh, it's Alex, because Anya Singh logged in as Alex. That way, so when there is a situation that you have to do something from others login, for example, there is a immediate approval that has to be made, but this person is currently on sick or this person is on a business travel that he can't access the systems and all. So for that critical things, if an admin wants to involve, an admin wants to do it from others behalf, they can get this option. This is a very sensitive option that definitely clients will enable only for the super admins. A general user will never give a proxy option. So this will be restricted only for the top super admins in the organization. That is the proxy now. But the advantage what we have as a consultant is during the configuration stage, this will be very much useful for us, because so whenever you're going to do some testing, so you made a request as an employee, you want to check the workflow as a manager, as a HR, as a HOD, how the workflow is going to different people, how they can approve and all. So if you want to do the testing, so you create something as employee, then log out and log in as manager, again log out and log in as HR. This will consume a lot of time. So if you have this proxy feature, you're like you're toggling between the logins, employee, manager, HR logins. You can quickly shift without every time completely logging out and logging in with ID, password, all that. This will save a lot of time. But as a consultant, this is very much useful feature actually. And here logins that I'll be giving you guys, everybody will have the full proxy access. You'll be able to log in. I mean, you will be able to access anybody's IDs like that. So basically the purpose for giving all of you guys is we have a lot of test data. Test data is what you will have in this demo system. Already SF has loaded 1300 plus employees. So if you search with any English names, David, William, John, different names, if you search, there are a lot of test employees data. You can go into all these profiles and you can look at how these profiles are maintained, what all data SF is capable of capturing. So you can get an understanding. It's not that you have to hire an employee like that. Existing data, if you start observing, you will get a lot of knowledge. Okay, SF level, I can maintain these kinds of data. So what all sorts of information you will have a look and understanding of before we actually go and work on the configurations. When you start looking at the existing profiles, existing system data, you will get more knowledge from that. So that is an individual time that you have to invest. It's not an activity or an assignment that I give you. That's an individual's focus that one should spend time on the system. It's not only about practicing and configuring. Looking at the existing system, observing the existing system is also important. So once you get the access next week, So spend this kind of a quality time on the system to understand and explore the standard things. It's a pre-delivered system with existing configurations, existing preloaded employee data and all. We are not going to give you a dummy system and not a blank system. It's already with preloaded configurations, all that. Okay. And I just forgot to show you. So when you went to somebody's login with a proxy, you done something in their login, and when you want to come back, so once now I'm in the LX login, if I want to come back again on the right hand top, I'll have this option called become self. If I click on become self, again I'll come back to my own login as Anyasi. That way, that's proxy or become self, this way. And any changes that you go to that other employee and do, guys, that will be properly tracked. It doesn't mean that you are able to do somebody's on somebody's name and their name will be registered. No. So everything has a proper history. So here, if you go for this historic icon, so here it will clearly show last updated by whom. If it is Anya Singh updated from LX login, it will come as last updated by Anya Singh on behalf of LX. That word as on behalf of LX will also be shown here if really there is a change made. Let me see if I can make a change and show you now. I'm not sure if it will stop with some workflows and all. Yeah, so now it has been saved. If I go for the history, you'll see that on 10th of October, last updated by Anya Singh on behalf of LX. So that audit is clearly captured. So you can't say that LX has made a change. Anya made a change by coming into LX login. That is clearly captured as an audit. So being a SAP product, these kinds of audit will definitely be in place. You need not worry. Okay, so that care is taken by SAP, and whenever you're coming back, you can go for become self and you can come back. Tomorrow, if somebody is going to make some audit on the data changes also, that will be clearly evident that it's not LX who has done, it's Anya Singh has done on behalf of LX. That way. So this is a proxy feature, we say. Right hand top corner, you get this proxy now, and that will be restricted only to the super admins in the company. Generally, it doesn't give into the general employees. Yeah, Mr. Chandrasekhar.
So is there any chance of the passwords?
Any chance of?
Taking others' password without our without permissions or without our permission? Is there any chance of taking our others' password?
There is no password thing involved at all. Password is like you access your own login ID password. That's it. So others can't get your password. It's only an option with this proxy thing. If you give your password to others and if they log in, you can't identify the audit. If they go through proxy, then only you get an audit that others done a change.
Okay, if someone takes our password without knowing to us, there is a chance of spoiling the data, right? Making the changes and all.
Okay.
Any security features for that? Is there any?
What can anybody do, guys? If you give your password to somebody, what can anybody do? That's not a question for SuccessFactors. Anything. Your banking website also, if somebody gets your password, they can do anything.
So okay. will we getting any alert or any intimation to email ID or mobile?
For every login, it is not going to alert you. So whenever you log in, it's not going to alert you. Point is, we have an option called two-factor authentication. We can set up that if required. So two-factor authentication is where, so once you log in with the password, it will give you, you'll ask you for a passcode. Where a passcode comes on your mobile, you have to enter that kind of an OTP, then only you'll be able to enter. So that two-factor authentication is what we can set. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? Palak?
You mentioned that any employee can change or reset the password for other employees. So
Not for Not any employee for other employee. An employee can change his own password at any point of time. An admin can change a password for others. Administrator.
Oh,
You can't change for your colleague. An admin can change for anybody in the company.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. So these options, what I told you, like reset password, reset user account, welcome email, all that are not a general user things. These are all an admin related features. Okay.
Okay, got it.
General user can't use all this. Consultants or the admins. Okay. Any others? Okay. And so basically from and in the next week our focus will be on the day one activities, guys. So day one activities, like, so once you got trained and you got certified and you are now into the SuccessFactors projects. So once you're allocated to the project, what will be the day one activities right from the first step? So how you can start contributing to the project. So someone comes and tell you, Shiva, you're allocated to this Coca-Cola project. Okay. So when you say I'm allocated, how can I start contributing to this project? Is that so? Obviously, you should first have an access to the system. The first thing what you have to concentrate is, how do I get the access to the client system? We have a provisioning system, we have an instance system in SF. So how does the client's provisioning and instance system details will reach me? So for that, what I have to do? So where I have to request, whom I have to request. So those are the day one activities that we have to start understanding. So first, once we gain the access to the systems, then what are the activations to be done in the provisioning, configurations on the instance, all that will flow. So we'll start with that basic thing in the next weekend, understanding the excuse me, understanding the day one activities. That will be the agenda for the next week when we start. Fine, gentlemen. So this is all from my end for this week. If anybody has any other questions, I'm ready to extend and answer you guys. That's it for now. Thank you guys. Thank you one and all. Have a nice week ahead.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.